right, here we go. Tyler Thompson here, Sadfish Games. Today I'm making the first of what I'm hoping is going to be a series of weekly sort of dev vlogs. I saw another company, a much bigger company than us, that does weekly blog posts updating, whomever wants to know about the ongoings of their company, progress of certain projects, any other media or whatever events may be going on for them. I just type it all up and put it in a nice little blog post, and I thought it was really nice, really interesting, and potentially helpful. Certainly helpful, I believe, to the developers in that company, as a way to sort of articulate their thinking as to what they're doing, keep themselves on task and focused as the weeks go by, and just keep, any customers or fans informed and involved with whatever they've got going on. I know they've got a number of Kickstarters they've done and things, and have a whole lot more that's probably more interesting to say than what I may, but, I thought it might be helpful for me to do that for Sadfish Games, and hopefully it's a little bit interesting to anybody who may end up watching. So this is the first. It's obviously March 2021, first full week over, so I've missed the first 2 months of the year doing this sort of thing, and I touched on some of those numbers in the last video I made, but I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about that in brief today. I did finally sit down last night and look at the January and February numbers that we made, and they were a little middling, maybe a little disappointing even compared to what I would have hoped for, but I think it's more a correction from what was a pretty good December, November, and then a very good October in 2020. So I suppose it's not that unexpected. We've also had a number of obstacles over the past several months that have kind of slowed our progress on some bigger projects we're doing. Back in November, December, and January, we had a very big edit job we were doing that still has not hit the market, so we're not seeing any benefit from that yet. In addition, I was very sick in December and wasn't really able to work on very many projects. And then, of course, the holidays in general being a pretty slow time as far as work availability goes. And then since then, it's just been hard for myself, Tyler Urish, and then Owen to sort of get the steam we need to work on a lot of the bigger projects we've got going on right now. So I'm not totally surprised that we're seeing slowed growth here in the past couple of months. It is what it is. We're not really hurting, but for my goals and expectations for this year, we're certainly a little bit behind at this point, and that's okay. This past week, not a whole lot got done. This is another symptom of the same things that have been causing the delays over the past few months. Particularly busy at real work, both myself and Owen, and so just not a whole lot was getting done. But hopefully here this coming week that will be a little bit better. I'm not sure. As to what did get done, mostly a lot of rules drafting and editing for the 3 games that we have in development right now. Tachyon, our sci-fi game, Felidae, a sort of cat adventure game based on 3Deep that we're working on, and then a skirmish game that title still pending, but we're working on that as well. So that's where most of my energy's been spent this past week, and probably where most of it's going to be spent this coming week. As far as sales go this past week, pretty middling week. Lots of Crossroad Chronicler sales, which, never going to complain about that. I'm sure that the contributors to that project won't complain either. The week prior, we got a mention on a thread on RPG Pub for Blackspear. It's the first time that somebody's referenced that game sort of in the wild, and it seemed like people had, some good things to say. Move some products there. That was really nice and cool, just as kind of a first mention of that out in the ether without my involvement in any way, although I did end up chiming in on the thread. Owen has been continuing his Twitch activity and doing a wonderful job with that. This coming Monday, we'll probably finish Shibuya Scramble, which is the visual novel that we've been working on for the past couple of months. It's been quite the ride for those of you that have actually followed along with us. I know there's a few out there the entire time. I'm not sure what we'll do next after we finish that. On Mondays, we always play visual novels, so if there's any suggestions, please let us know. And then, of course, he and our competitive Valorant team, the Sadfish Zebras, has been ramping up their activity. And they're almost halfway competent now. So we'll see what they do this coming Wednesday, when I think they'll probably play again, although I'm not sure. We'll see what Owen has going on. New releases, we haven't released anything in the past week or so. There's just too many big projects that are still ongoing and not ready for release. I have a couple smaller projects that I'd like to get released, but they need some editing and layout, and I just haven't had time. I think this coming week, my objective is to release Camp Cairn, which is an adventure that we had a freelancer draft up for us based on some notes that we had. Get that released for Zweihander. I would have had it out this past week, but the freelancer, he did a wonderful job, made some interesting choices with some formatting that I've had to fix, and it's really delayed layout, and so release. But that's fine. That just kind of is the way things go sometimes. Layout is often a very complicated process when you're working with other people's work, so, you know, can't do much about it. But hopefully this coming week, I'd like to say I'll get that done today, Sunday, March 7th, but I know that's a lie, so I won't stand by that very strongly. Tachyon, the sci-fi game, is nearing a complete full first draft. We have a couple small sections to draft, and then that will be ready, and we're going to send that out to some playtesters that have been signed up with us to do that on a volunteer basis. So that's very exciting. I'm not sure if that will get done this week or the following week. I'm hopeful not the week after that, but that's possible. Back in December, I'd hoped to have it fully drafted by now. Didn't happen for the reasons I mentioned earlier. But we're getting there, and I think that's fine. I'm excited for it to be ready to release. I'm hoping by the end of April we'll be able to do that, and if not, then hopefully May. Hopefully May. Otherwise, for Felidae, the cat game I mentioned, I'm actually going to have my fiance do the first draft of the quick start adventure that will be included with that. So this week my plan is to walk through with her a lot of the methods that we use when we're writing. She's never done it before, and I think she'll have a good time. I'm hopeful. I bet she'll be grumpy with me at a couple points, but hopefully she enjoys it in the end. I do know that the big project we were working on for editing back in November, December, and January, it's the Concordance of Freedom, Zweihander campaign, is currently in layout. So I'm hopeful that by the end of this month that will be done in layout and then sent off to the printers for proofing. Hopefully it will be out on the market by May. The most recent volume of Lowborn went to the printers, I believe, yesterday, so hopefully that will come and hit the market later this month. And we'll start to see a little bit more growth then, I'm hoping, once we wrap up a couple of these other projects. Aiko interrupted me. Say hi, Aiko. So, anyway, I think that's all for this week. Hopefully next week I'll have some more news on Tachyon and hopefully the skirmish game. I think that's about done with the first draft as well. If you have any questions about any of our work, our company in general, whether it's business related or social or whatever the case may be, please let us know. Feel free to make a comment, or you can send us an email, sadfishgames@gmail.com. It's a lovely, lovely morning here in St. Louis, so I think that we will probably go and enjoy the outside a little bit more today. See you next time.